now, babes, I am back with another YouTube video. First, I wanted to say Happy New Year's. This is officially the first video I'm posting for the new year, and today I'm actually doing my acrylic toes. I just finished soaking off some acrylic toes I had on since, I'm gonna say, about October, so we gotta pack that up. So right here, as you guys can see, my feet is real dry. Like I said, I did just soak off some acrylic toes, but I am gonna start to push my cuticles back using this cuticle bit and start to remove some of that dead skin off of the nail plate. With this bit, I'll also be filing the sides of my toes just a little bit on the skin to make sure that everything looks nice and snatched. And earlier, I did go over my toes with a sanding band to start to remove little pieces of acrylic. So because of that, I am not going to go over my toes with a sanding band again. Instead, I'm just going to continue to use this bit. And if needed, I'll use this bit to remove little pieces of shine off my toes that I might have missed. For this next nail, as I'm removing some of that dead skin off of the nail plate, some of my skin was starting to come up. I'm not really too sure where it came from or how it happened, but I did continue to use my bit to remove some of that skin, and you're going to start to see that here. Moving on, I am using this 180 grit hand file to start to shape my toenails. Now, I could have cut them down and then did this, but I wasn't too sure how long I wanted them. And I like to try to make sure that my big toenails are about the same length. So I am just going to slowly start to file this down. Right here, I had just put some oil on my toes because they were looking real dry. But I am going to go in with this alcohol pad and start to remove the oils that was on my nail plate that I just caused. Now, y'all see that my big toenail chipped? I actually don't know when that happened, but we're going to fix that. After dehydrating the nails, I did go ahead with my Young Nails Protein Bond, and here you guys see me applying that No Lift Primer. So this is my toes is looking like right now. I know there's still like little tiny pieces of pink on my toes, but I really did not want to overfoul my toenails. For today's video, I'm using this nude acrylic powder from NSI. I believe this was a peach blush color. Now, in my opinion, I feel like this color ended up being too light for my skin. You guys can let me know down below how y'all feel about it. But me personally, right now it looked good. Like, it looked good as I was doing it. But I wasn't really too sure how I felt about it when I was finished. Nonetheless, when you're doing acrylic toes, you do want to start off with very, very small beads, as you guys could see me doing here. And my acrylic brush was a little messed up, so it was causing little lines as I was working. So I am going to go ahead and change my brush too. So here you guys see that I'm cleaning up those side walls. I'm also going to carefully clean the cuticle area to make sure that none of the acrylic is touching the skin. And then I'll use my cuticle pusher to start to remove some of that extra acrylic. We do want those toenails to be nice and square. So even if I didn't already have a full toenail, I would have still used the same method. And I did dip my cuticle pusher into some acrylic powder before I started to remove anything. I dipped the cuticle pusher into the acrylic powder to prevent anything from getting stuck as I'm starting to remove it, because I would hate to go in with the cuticle pusher, start to remove some acrylic, and then the acrylic from my toe gets stuck on the pusher and now it's messed up. For this next toenail, I'll be doing the same thing. You guys still want to make sure that you're going in with a small bead. And if you are not charging for acrylic toes already, I definitely recommend doing so, because I would say they take about an hour. And recently, I've seen the prices for acrylic toes go up. They used to be around 50, 55. Mine personally are 55, 60, depending on what you like. But now I'm seeing that people are charging $100, $80. So y'all might want to get in where you fit in. I do have plans in the future to raise my prices for my acrylic toes, but I do also want to offer pedicures with like a small pedicure bowl. So I'm currently working on that. I know a lot of people do dry manicures with the acrylic toes, including myself, but why not just give your client the whole package and include pedicures as well, so they don't have to go to multiple places. And like I said earlier, I've been seeing that a lot of nail techs are starting to do that. They're offering pedicures now, and not just the acrylic toes. But some nail techs still charge $80 to $100 for just the acrylic toes itself, and that's just the overlay on all 10 toes. Now, this toenail definitely came out much cleaner than the previous one, but like I said, I'm still not really too sure how I feel about the color, but I did already start, so I am going to show you guys how everything looks in the end. Here we have my big toe that unfortunately I chipped earlier. Now I could have done this in one bead, but I did want to be a little bit on the safe side. So I decided to do this in 2 beads. So my first bead started in the center of my toe. And you guys see that I'm making sure that everything is sidewall to sidewall. And I'm also going to cover up that small hole that's on the side of my nail. I am being very gentle as I'm doing this, just sculpting that acrylic powder and making sure that it's not too dry, but it also isn't too wet to where it's running everywhere, because that's going to cause issues too. I am later going to have to go in with the cuticle bead. The cuticle bead I picked up at first was a little bit small, so because of that I did go in with 2 more beads after this one. With this next bead, it was a little small, and as you guys can see, the bead was also very wet, so I was working pretty quickly trying to prevent the acrylic powder from actually touching my skin. I did also go in with 1 more bead because, as you guys can see, near the cuticle area it was a little thin, especially compared to the acrylic that's near the free edge. So right here I am going to add 1 more bead, and I'm going to start to blend this down towards the free edge. I've actually seen 2 nail techs call the acrylic enhancement toe BBLs, and I think it's so funny. Of course, I'm not going to start saying it too. That's their original thing that they came up with, but I definitely thought it was real unique and different. So I am about to finish up the application on my toes, and right here I am going to start to shape and file. So at first I started to reshape my big toe, but the free edge was a little thick, so I decided to go in with my electric file first, and then I'm going to come back to shape this. I'm also using a 8080 grit file to start to reshape these toenails, and afterwards I'll be going in with this medium 5-in-1 bit. Now I did not get this bit from Amazon. I actually got it from Trans Design, which is my local nail supply store. I'm gonna see if they have this exact 5-in-1 bit off of Amazon, but this is not a fine grit, this is medium. The actual drill that I'm using today is also new. I got this drill from Trans Design once again, and it was because my McCart drill broke. Now, I'm not really too sure how it broke or if I dropped it, but after it died some days ago, it literally never turned on again. Like, it died, I was charging it, and it actually died while I was with a client. So because it died, we probably waited about 30 minutes before I started again, just to kind of let it charge a little bit. But it actually never turned back on. So I did have to file my other client's hand, only using a hand file. So I am praying to God that her nails do not lift. Now that I am finished rambling, right here I'm continuing to file down the acrylic because it was a little bulky earlier, and I'm starting to seal the cuticle. So I'm getting very, very close to the skin without touching or cutting myself. And I'm going to make sure that this looks nice and seamless, nice and flush and natural. I did also file underneath my big toe. As you guys can see earlier, there was a little chip in it. I don't know why I called it a hole earlier, but the toenail was chipped. So of course some of that acrylic powder was kind of touching my skin underneath the nail. So I did have to go ahead and remove that. After reshaping my toenails and making sure that they are straight, I am going to go ahead and buff the nails. Afterwards, I did go ahead and wash my feet off, got all the dust off, and we're going to start to paint the French tip. For my French tip toes today, I am using this reflective gel polish from my cart. I actually only went in with one coat of polish. I am not trying to make that a habit, but sometimes I don't feel like 2 coats is needed if it's already nice and pigmented. I was being very careful as I was starting to paint my French tip, but I do feel like it's a lot easier on the bigger toe versus the smaller ones. And I'm also going to allow each toe to cure for about 30 seconds. I'm just going to flash cure it before moving on so that I don't accidentally mess up anything, because as you guys can see, I do not have toe dividers at the moment. When it comes to painting French tip on toes, I do like to start from the side and start to bring that line in, just lightly curving my brush. Normally I use my black liner brushes from Amazon, but one of my brushes messed up, so I did quickly pick up these brushes from my local nail supply store as well. But I'll link these down below and the ones I get from Amazon because they're both really good. I also did not top coat these nails before I started to paint my French tip. Now, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But today I decided not to, so I am going to top coat these nails once I'm finished painting all the French tips. And I'm going to show y'all what it looked like. So y'all let me know down below if y'all feel like this nude and my skin is going well together. I'm not gonna lie, when I finished them I actually really didn't like them, but I still wanted to show you guys in case you guys felt different. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this YouTube video. Once again, Happy New Year, and if you'd like to see more videos, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.